let everyone going out now to tell anything or talk much. I'm waiting for them to come out on that protest day. I will join them, and all we are going to protest is for a referendum. Not, we are not accepting the result. If anybody lifts a banner or whatever of we are not going to accept the result, I will lift my own for referendum. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Let's bring Knife NFT quickly. Thank you so much. And we appreciate those of you that are still with us.
Good morning, Africa. Man. So somehow, somewhere, I think a lot of us knew that the election results was going to be a mismatch. We kind of knew that deep down inside of us, but we were hoping for the best. And it's because we continue to keep playing by the rules which were written down for us by our colonializers. The biggest issue I have, like the one lady was talking about, Botswana said, is that in Nigeria is a good example. The amount of tribes in Nigeria. Do you think that any one president is going to fully satisfy all the other tribes who have not had their guys selected? Is going to continue to be the same thing regardless of who is chosen? I think that the problem is we're trying to build our kingdom on the remains of our freaking colonializers. We are trying to use a system of governance which is foreign to us people. We have not come up with a system which is inclusive to all these many tribes. One thing that has always worked in my country of Zimbabwe, where we have a few tribes, but not as many as Nigeria, is we have this chieftain system, where you have a chieftain who becomes is almost like the governor of your tribe or the mayor of your tribe. And they need to have a meeting place where these chieftains come to meet and have an eventual decision made from after they have met together, right? And I think this way is going to be inclusive for everybody, is going to have a say inside of their politics. We are going to continue to fail as an African nation simply because we model our politics off of the West. We choose the language and the narrative of the West. I hear people talking about, oh, make South Africa great again. I see the people in Brazil, they see this January 6th riot, and everybody feels like that's the way to go, is we're going to storm the Capitol. So we're modeling ourselves like, you know what they say, monkey see, monkey do. This is the way Africans are playing the political game, is we are mirroring off of the colonializer things which work in their land. We are mirroring those things which we read in the paper. We try to bring them back into our environment, and it will never work. So right now, today, France has just put a black mark on Nigeria. Even worse, if you look at a post, I'm going to try to share it before I get off of here. So the headline is that South Africa and Nigeria gray listed for money laundering by France. Do you know what that means? It means your current monetary problems you have right now are going to be even worse. This is like one of those nails to the coffin kind of news when you hear the French talking about this kind of stuff. So how do we as Africans overcome the seeds which were planted by our colonializers, which continue to hamper our growth for generation after generation? We pull the fence off. We want to be able to roam and trade and do business together and let each tribe exist. How are we going to overcome this PTSD which we are living with right now? That PTSD is the cause for tribalism. That PTSD is the cause for every election is unsatisfactory, right? Every election in Africa, South Africa is going through election right now. They are in shambles. Zimbabwe is going through an election. They are in shambles. The exact same thing. So at some point, we got to destroy that document of independence that the colonializers gave. That is the root of the problem. That document that our masters put together a document to say, if you want to be free, We will give you freedom based on your signature on this. We need to get rid of that. It's the beginning and the end of all of our problems. This goes back to our own history as Africans. If we are joining this African Pan-Africanism, and we are joining it halfway throughout the journey, and we haven't taken time to go back to see where these seeds were planted, we are going to keep fighting ghosts. We will keep fighting each other, and we will never resolve anything. So I think the biggest thing is an education, is sitting to and listening to people like the good man, going to Dr. Matsanga. Dr. Matsanga is the treasure for Africa, because this guy is sharing some oral history of the trails that we went through up to today. If we lose Dr. Matsanga right now, who do you think on the African planet is coming on the Twitter space in a public place giving you the actual facts? He's the guy you need to listen to him. And when you listen to him, you should get angry, because a lot of the stuff he's telling you has been going on for generations. We're not the only ones to sit here and discuss Africa's problems. My father sat and discussed that, you know? So the problem is not going away. The problem is not changing. It's the way we are approaching the problem as a people. Man, I every single day when I come on these spaces, man, I end up having a crazy morning because it just boils my blood how we're so blind as a people. We are so blind as a people. We are playing the game exactly the way they intended it when they gave us independence. We are playing it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. And while you were speaking, we learned a lot. I've already looked it up. FAT on Friday also added South Africa and Nigeria to its grey list of countries under special scrutiny to implement standards to prevent money laundering and terrorism financing, and took Morocco out of the grey list. So we will be talking more on this later on in our other programs. And I'm already sharing the link so that more people that are still thinking that a new election will probably not. I mean, you can't even travel through a European country without getting a Shanghai. Thank you so much once again to the last speaker. We still appreciate Simon. Simon, whenever you want to interject, please, you are free. And likewise, all our co-hosts. Let's bring in somebody else quickly. We have quite a lot of people that want to speak. Mr. Paul Ogechuku, let's do it under 2 minutes. When we get tired, we will tell everybody we are tired. But for now, it seems that we are still learning. And the whole agenda is total disintegration of the contraction known as Nigeria. It does not matter how the North feels. If you're not happy with it, you can also start campaigning for an Arewa nation. Go ahead, our new speaker. And thank you so much to the last speaker.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Koiki. Thank you so much, the dragon, the good man himself. Thank you, all lovers of freedom, media team, Yoruba Nation, and everyone. It's a great day because the work which everyone is doing is speaking loud all over the world. The world knows the truth. They know that Nigeria is a fraud, but they keep on beating around the bush. Ahmadu Bello said that we can never rule them and they will never allow us to have control over our life. That's why they keep on rejecting restructuring. They keep on rejecting everywhere on however we have to use to survive. And to make my message short, because Dragon is loaded up with all the information we need to pass to him. We are speaking the language of referendum as those obedient are trying to go on protest, which is revolution. As the revolution is going on, let Biafra be declared, because international committees have already confirmed that the election in Nigeria is fraudulent. We thank Mazanga, we thank every other person. We thank each Mouthpiece, Goodman, Abarawa, and all the people that are making this thing to become a reality. Biafra is here, Oduduwa is here. Nigeria has collapsed in front of our own eyes because this election have proven and shown anything the world want to see. And they have seen how serious and the focus we are in restoring our nation. Thank you for not taking much time. We love
Thank you so
all.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's bring in. Yeah.
Sorry,
Somebody wants
continue
to. Yeah, go ahead.
Honorable Simon, Mappy said she sent you something. You can just look it up.
Is this did he send it to where? Is it on Twitter or
Maybe it's on Twitter.
okay? Can she send it to Twitter, please?
Okay. Go ahead, Koiki.
Thank you so much. Once again, we appreciate is just coming up to 3 p.m. local time in London. Timing are different in different part of the globe. So let me, since we have the good man, let's look at the time there in Finland. The time now is just almost, coming up to 5 p.m., which is 1700 hours. For those of you in Nigeria, you're wasting your energy trying to save a system that is going to crumble on your head. So you better prepare. I told you, high blood pressure is running around with all these politicians. You can see Dino, the way Dino is almost having high blood pressure at the collation center. And I was looking at Simon page yesterday, where Irubebi was doing the same thing in 2015. I was in Nigeria in 2019 to cover the election at my own expense. I believe this is even the worst one that we can talk about. Let's bring in Arabi Rishola. We haven't had it from a female, and I believe we have a female now that will speak to us right now. Like I said, it is still live, and we appreciate everyone that is still listening to us around the globe. And I will bring in more female. I believe I can see Okoro, so I'm going to bring you as after the speaker now, so we can balance it and have more female speaking. Go ahead, Arabi, you're live.
Thank you, Koiki, and thank you for hosting this. I'm interested to hear what everyone has. I just think we need to just remember that Nigeria was set up to fail. We have to remember that the space that was named Nigeria was previously called the Slave Coast. So we remember that Gold Coast, because the British got a lot of gold out of that area, they called it the Gold Coast. It's now called Ghana. And the Slave Coast is what they became the Royal Niger Company, owned by Goldie, and then became Nigeria under Lugard. Now, when Lugard amalgamated the North and the South, it was just for money. Same as the Berlin Conference was just about money. Most of Africa's countries are not countries, they're European trading posts. And what I read was that at a point in the 60s, there was a discussion about these places reverting to what they were before they became European trading posts. And the West somehow managed to persuade the people at the table that no, stay as you are. I'm sure nobody needs to tell us why they were so interested in Western trading posts remaining as they were. So that's really important. Nigeria was not, in fact, that amalgamation ended in 2014. And the people we should blame are the excuse that passes for a political class in the space we call Nigeria. Because in 2014, what should have happened was a referendum or a discussion about whether or not we wanted to stay together. Remember, nobody asked us. Lugard and the colonial bandits did not ask anybody if they wanted to be in a union with whoever. They didn't ask us. And one of the things that means is, and obviously it's not just a Nigeria problem, is that Africa has weak nations. And in having weak nations is very useful because it makes it easier to exploit. They're not even nation sure because somebody gave us the definition of a nation. I don't know what to call them. It makes it easier for them to be exploited. Now, to bring us to date, Nigeria does not have a constitution. Let's just remember that. There was the constitution agreed in the 50s, but that constitution was thrown away when we had the Civil War. And then the military, Abubakar, Obasanjo, and the rest of them, the military criminals, or I think of them as the 1966 band of military brigands, they brought in a Decree 24. That is what you're calling a constitution. It is not, Nigeria doesn't have a constitution. And what that means legally is that when you don't have a constitution, you don't have a union agreement, because that's what the constitution is. It's a union agreement. If you don't have a constitution, you don't have a union agreement, which means you don't have a union. And which is why it's very sad that people allow themselves to be persuaded to go to the farce they call elections. Because what they did in allowing themselves to be persuaded to go for that nonsense is they tied their hands for the next 4 years, because they validated effectively by that, they validated a decree. Now, one of the things and some of us will have noticed that, going back to the foundation of Nigeria. Nigeria is not free. We got the independence we got was not independence. Otherwise, why would all those people have to trip to Chatham House like children? Look at them, children tripping to Chatham House to be validated by the colonial master. And how is it that I've forgotten her name, the governor general, the Lugard of the 21st century, is on national TV telling her subjects, I've forgotten a woman's name, what they can and how they should do and what. Can you imagine that somebody, a Yoruba man, as somebody said, coming on the TV in the UK saying this is what you should do? That just reminds us that Nigeria never got whatever it was Nigeria got is not. Now, the good thing is, somebody said, I think it was an American guy said earlier that, what are we doing? The good thing is that we are not going to make the mistakes our parents made. So in that we haven't gone back to history and how the place was created. We know it is not a nation. We know it is not ours. We know it is not a country. It's not even a country, because the country has borders. Nigeria has no borders, which is why Buhari was able to use the Southern wealth to build the Niger Republic. The good thing is that, everything is generational, and this generation is not going to stay in a union it never agreed to. Even if you agree to a union, you can come out of it. What you presently have is we're being held together at gunpoint. And anybody who knows anything is that if they're at gunpoint, eventually it will snap. Because you can't hold me forever with a gun. Eventually I'll find my way around it. And that is where we're going to. I hope that whatever demonstrations, I heard somebody say they're having a demonstration, please don't waste your blood on holding Nigeria together. Remember, people died in the 60s. People died in the 90s. If people are going to demonstrate to say you want a referendum, not you want to validate whatever nonsense comes out of the non-election that they had. Because that's the only way to get freedom. That's the only way to have our own nations. That's the only way to build a future, to have a proper country for our children and our generations unborn. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much to our beautiful auntie, and for putting that one. It's good to have the female to balance the conversation. I believe we're going to override. I believe Okoro is another female. I believe, based on your status. Please unmute yourself and let's hear from you, please.
Good day, everyone. Nice to be here. How you doing, Koki? All the listeners, Simon. Good day to you. The conversation has been going on, and I've been listening in on it. So, but to reiterate what Mohammed Waziri said in the first place, he asked the question, who is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and who is Simon Ekpa and how old are they? First of all, I would like us to understand, everybody equally, that history plays the greatest role in civilization, because if there were histories taught in our schools, we wouldn't be asking who this is or who that is about their age, because it is the history that will point us out to the things that went wrong, how to fix it today, and to also understand that the tomorrow people are still going to see us as history today to amend any mistakes we made as well. So with that, I've said about that. Then also about the disintegration of Nigeria. When two people don't agree, they don't stay together. And that even after a union is made, there are rooms for improvement. So, but this improvement is not being allowed because we are forced into being in a place that we do not want to be. First of all, wherever you go in this world, they don't ask you your religion first, they ask you your ethnicity. Whether you're applying for a job or your international passport or anything, the first question is your ethnicity and tribe. These are natural occurrences, which by birth you did not have a choice in choosing which ethnicity or tribe that you're going to be from. And what makes it the most important is because I can choose to discard any religion today and join the next, but you cannot discard your ethnicity to join another tomorrow. You will remain who you were born to be. So ethnicity plays a stronger role in our society than the religion. As a sociologist, I understand that there is what we call this imperialism. It happens when external powers are influencing decisions that are happening with a certain group of people. And now we say, oh, we should not be blaming our past for the colonial mistakes that has been made in the past. We should think about now, but we are forgetting that Britain is blatantly putting their hands up till this very second. I have not had them give the truth on the observation, but the European Union have told us what they observed, but Britain will blatantly play numb and dumb to whatever is going on just because they choose to. So let's not be giving them slides of the things that they do. It's not like we are going to go about every day being angry. Saying the truth doesn't mean you're angry. Pointing things out does not mean that you're angry, but you cannot play choose and then hide the ones you take and pick when you are bringing everything to the table. We also have the role to understand that we should stop being fickle-minded in the things we do. We will see things today and scream, oh, it is bad. And then tomorrow we go on and forget about it just because we are not from the same lineage, the same religion, the same ethnicity, but it is not okay. And what we have to understand as well is when there is diversity in religion, in language, it is easier to maintain boundaries and everything than when it is properly totally different culture entirely. Because it's a natural thing, you can always have issues with an outsider easier than with your own tribe who is of a different religion. So let us understand that we have to keep the fact that dangerous diversity is not working in Nigeria. And the Northerners who feel that they want to allow us to go, they are not against us leaving, they also should form parliaments to speak up, to help the Southerners go, because the union is not working. And it will not work because there has been some gross subjugation and oppression that it's had. Even if you forgive, people say forgive and not, you can never own those people to be part of you in that manner, because you were overly subjugated and you were killed without even a sign of remorse or saying sorry to the things that have been done in the past, and you keep on trying to cover the wrongs you've wronged others because you have the power to. But when the table is turned, you will come and say, oh, let us be, and you start playing. That means you are not a nice human being individually. So how would you be a good person in governance? So with this, I just wanted to make this simple statement about dangerous diversity. Ethnicity rules over every other type of diversity, and it is not working. Thank you. I yield my mind.
Wow, thank you so much. Just to have an idea, at 1 hour from now, we will slow and we will bring this Twitter space down. So that means the next few speaker, let us get as many to speak. We still have 53. We might not get everybody in, but be rest assured that we will do more of these. We didn't even plan for these at all. I got to be honest. I've been running my program at about 10 o'clock. I went to Star Radio and then we came back after I had my lunch and said, okay, let's just switch the Twitter space and look at it now. We have more people.
Yes,
let me go to success quickly. Yeah,
Hello?
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead,
Yes,
Simon.
Can I?
My State of the Nation address will be 7
Go ahead,
p.m.
Simon.
Yes, my State of the Nation address will be 7 p.m. Biafra Oduduwa.
The rest assured.
Yeah.
To be transmitted on our own side. Whenever you're ready to leave, Simon,
I said that
please.
my State of the Nation will come 7 p.m. Biafra Oduduwa time.
Yeah, like I said, we will be transmitting that, the rest assured. So when you are ready to go, let me know. But like I said, in an hour's time, we will be ending this program at exactly 1600.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I have to leave you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Simon. And we will join you at 7 p.m., 1900 hours, where you will be speaking to the rest of us and the rest of the Biafra. Thank you, Simon, for staying with us that long. Thank you so much. We love and appreciate Simon out of his very busy schedule. We are still here. I still have my calls, but let's clear the few speakers that we have. I think we have two. Then we're going to take more requests. Success, go ahead and let us hear from you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Koiki Media. Good afternoon. My Oduduwa brothers, good afternoon all. Fellow Biafrans, good afternoon. Yes, we have no much to talk. Just like, what is going on in Nigeria now, currently, and all over. People thought maybe electioneering will better or improve the well-being of Nigerians. But it is designed to orchestrate their problems and trouble and increase it to the greatest height, just as it is now. And they are calling out for protests. Some are calling for the cancellation of the elections, and some are issuing a countering statement against Obasanjo, like the northern Islamic groups and other Islamic bodies are issuing a threat, and the countering Obasanjo's statement concerning a splitting of Nigeria, or splitting fire, or sparkling whatever that will make and raise dust in Nigeria. This is the way they used to go, and want to employ those who involved in this very sham elections in Nigeria, that they caused the whole of their problems. And this is the first election, I think, since I began to witness election, that none of the candidates, whoever emerged a winner, may not even exceed 20 million votes, may not even get up to 20 million votes. Because people the indigenous persons, both in the Middle Belt, both in the Arewan, both in Biafra and Oduduwa, have already understand their game, and a lot of people pulled out of this very election. I will take my own area as a case of study. In Enugu State, where we have about 2.1 something million registered voters, about 480,000 people with their rigging voted. You can just imagine that. About 1.6 million did not vote. So what is that telling you? This is just a referendum in disguise. That so that if they bring a referendum to us, our people will wholeheartedly embrace it. And we are asking those making threats or whatsoever they are making, they should go ahead, because we are already at war, and we are not going to back down. Simon EKPA, our good guy who chooses to be the good guy to save Biafrans, our own daddy in Oduduwa land, Professor, I used to forget her name. Banje Akindoye, our daddy, and our own fearless Sunday Igboho. God will continue to keep them and bless them and make their word fruitful. Use their words to tell humanity that Nigeria is the highest fraud that Britain has ever created. Every British establishment, including India, were fraud until India fell and split it. India has their own, at least they have their own way of life now. Nigeria will fall by this year, and there's no going back, no matter the threat. So anybody, anywhere in Odualand or in Biafra land, elsewhere they are calling out for protest, please, we have a program, we have a template on how to dissolve Nigeria completely. Do not join them, because they will use their Boko Haram armies to make sure that they eliminate you. Thank you, Mazi Koiki. May God bless you and bless Odua and bless Biafra Nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go straight to Bitbuy. I guess I pronounced the name very well. Bitbuy is.
Yes.
Let's hear from
Thank you.
you.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I want to chip in something. I don't really have much time to waste here. I can't believe for over an hour we've been talking about the problems. What is the exit strategy? What's the plan? From Ojukwu to Raf Uwazirike in 2000, from Raf Uwazirike 2000 to Simon Ekpa's era is like 24 years. So what have we been doing? What's the exit strategy? What's the plan? What's the step-by-step guide approach to dealing with this issue? If we are succeeding, where do we start from? How do we equip ourselves? Are we really matured enough in mind to run a nation? What does it take to run a nation? Have we asked ourselves this question? If you succeed from the scam, good, and you set up a nation, how is it going to run? What's the structure? What systems are we putting in place? Where are we going to start from? And you cannot exit this beast. The slave master will not free you without inflicting injuries on you, because we have to forcefully do that. We do not produce our arms and ammunition. We don't even have a ground to train the Oduduwa or the Biafran soldiers. So where do we start from? Where can an average guy who's broke, living in the slum, how can he be part of the movement? Does he even understand what the movement is about? That's another question.
Okay, hold on. Let's answer the questions one by one.
Okay.
Okay, where you start from is from your mind.
Okay.
You need to understand the value of freedom. You need to understand that where you are already fighting a war. You are already in a war. You protest, you are dead. They take your money. You can't even talk about the country that is holding you down. You will be arrested and prosecuted. You are already in a war. So you need to first of all understand this basic, that am I a free person? And then the second step you need to do is to begin to follow those who have the roadmap, who knows how you can achieve it. Follow them, because you don't know the know-how. Most of us, we cannot lead, but there are leaders, and they have been leading, and you can see that they are making headways. You can see that they are leading you aright. When you see a leader, you will understand. For instance, the Simon Ekpa you are looking at is not just a guy that traveled to Finland. Okay? He is. Yes, let me educate you, because many people don't even know who he is. So when they see the Nigerian media post about him, they just follow. They follow the crowd. They listen to the wrong person, to the oppressor. When you continue to listen to your oppressor, you will never get freedom, because he will always feed you trash. Simon Ekpa is not a regular guy that just traveled to Finland to hustle. He is a prince in his own town. He now traveled down there, and he now traveled down there. He became a politician there. He is also a military reserve there. He is also a lawyer there. So whatever he is saying, he understands it. He can defend it anywhere in the world. So he is somebody that has the roadmap. He knows about leadership. He has been leading. He knows about leadership, and he understands international politics. He understands your local politics. So if you see a leader, you follow him, take instructions, and you will never go astray. You will get it very well. When you continue to follow him, you will now understand also the structure of these nations that are yet to be born. Do you understand? So you can go ahead.
Let me also 1 minute. Thank you so much. My brother Goodman. just to also, because these are the questions that comes up all the time, how do we exit? What is the exit? I wrote it down. You say the exit strategy. And I believe, you are not just referring to the Biafra, because I'm sure you're also aware that the Yorubas are asking the same exit as well.
Of course.
First and foremost, we are dealing with a system that is not going to give you the kind of exit strategy that you might think of. I believe, when we go back to when I think Abubakar was speaking, he was talking about all these senators that are criminals sitting somewhere in Abuja, and all they just want to sit down there is, continue to eat the fat on the. So that is not going to happen. But what I can say is, if you go on Koiki Media, you will be able to read a 35-page manual that was put together by Professor Banji Adebanji Akintoye, the leader of the Yoruba Self-Determination Group, on the exit plan. And we have been doing such, even after we registered under the UNPO, people say, well, that doesn't mean anything. The campaign has been going on, which is something very important. People might say that, the campaign is not hitting as many people. And the reason for, if the Nigerian system today allows 1 month, no interference, even if they have to tell us, you can't you can't say certain things in terms of, weapons and all that. But let's just educate our people from the Biafra and the Yoruba. Within another month, that country will be dissolved. But what they've done is they've locked us from not getting access. I mean, I know Shewan Kimbaloye very well, but he's not going to give me his platform to come and speak, because Tony Momo is part of the system.
He's working for the system,
So in terms of the strategy plan, anything goes in these movements. But for the time being, we are still talking. We wrote a letter to Buhari government in August. Maybe they will reply today. So we won't get the kind of, EU exit. I mean, the BRICS exit rather, not the EU exit. The BRICS exit that we had a referendum, and the next day the British were wondering if they've actually left, European Union, which they have. So the exit strategy is still the campaign, but like I said, anything will goes in this kind of movement. So there will not be one particular template. And the only difference that we have now is, yes, we must have had issues in the past, how Biafra wanted to go and the Yoruba probably didn't want them to go. But now we have Yoruba that are saying that we want to go. So that unity is what they don't like. And you can tell from somebody like Waziri that was speaking to us on this Twitter space that, it looks like we are throwing some kind of enlightenment to our people that doesn't want them to be free. So go ahead.
But because I am so shocked at the election results, and Ekiti, Ogun State is also telling me that we have a lot of loyalists to this same system that is draining the blood of Nigerians. So because it beats my imagination, how can a human being be loyal to such a system? So I feel maybe we still need to do enough. Does the nations, these two nations now, succeeding? Do we have a physical meeting place where one can be enlisted? Do we have an underground nuclear power plant or program? Are we building? Because the Nigerian government will never, and that will be another civil war cooking up. Are we prepared for that? And that's what I'm saying. How can I be
part of the election itself is cooking. Don't worry about the Biafra and the Yoruba. The election itself, and that's why Obasanjo is running out quickly to calm things down, which definitely is not going to calm down. So if you're playing just thinking that is about the Biafra now, what is happening in Nigeria is even more than the Biafra and the Yoruba exit now. So Nigeria itself is going to kickstart what you're talking about. And eventually, and like I always say on my platform, if it doesn't get to the heat where the United Nations is having a security meeting on Nigeria, we're not going anywhere. When it gets to that stage, with, even if Nigeria has whatever weapon, the international community will intervene at some point, just as do you know there's fight going on in Russia and Ukraine?
Yeah.
So how many people still remember that there's a fight going on? Does the international community not intervene? Yeah, but that doesn't stop the fight. But it will get to that stage, and eventually, things will move on. We got to move swiftly because of the time constraints. Sorry about that,
Koiki Media. Yes, let me just add one more thing before we let him go. Just follow the good guys, big boy. Just follow the good guys. Listen to information. Every information they give you is correct. Okay? Because if you continue to listen to the media, your oppressor cannot talk about your good about your liberator. Your
Sure.
oppressor can never say anything good about your liberator. That is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still with them. That is why Sunday Igboho was went for. That is why all the attacks is going for Simon Ekpa. Do you understand? So these are the guys that have your good at heart. Listen and follow them tenaciously, and then you will be liberated. Thank you.
Thank you so much, good man. Thank you so much to the last speaker. I believe we have some more speakers. Like I said, I do apologize. Everybody might not be able to get in. Let's allow Lord Eminent of Ekiti to speak. Ekiti has been in the news regarding this rigging election. Go ahead, my brother.
Thank you, Koiki Media. Thank you, everybody on this space. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak. I think, to the best of my knowledge, when this agitation for separation of entities started, I think it started with Biafra and along the line Yoruba Nation. Well, I know as an international relations student that every entity is allowed to decide their sovereignty if they want to be part of a country or not. It's not a new thing. We have witnessed it all over the world. The issue is how do we go about it? And gladly, what the last speaker, the questions he has asked, is almost the same concern I have, because I don't want a situation whereby people will just be led to the slaughter. If you're going to go about it, it should be in a peaceful way. It should be in a way. I don't want to say the modus operandi. I'm not in charge, but it should be in such a way that at the end of it does not defeat the reason for it. And also, I want to point out the fact that Yoruba Nation now, you will know fully well that a lot of Yorubas voted for Asiwaju. As much as the election was a sham, I condemn the election. It is nothing like what the citizens of the country want. But you will not wish away the sentiment that has gone into the election, and you will not also wish away the fact that already the flames of ethnicity is being born in the country now. I am on ground. I'm in Nigeria, and I know what has been going in circle in the Yoruba land. So I will encourage you guys to as much as possible strategize, and I'm glad. In fact, I never knew there is a strategy in print that you have on ground towards what's it called? Getting
on the manual. Yeah, please go on Koiki Media. It's right in front of you. KoikiMedia.com. 35 page.
I would definitely follow the.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I just want to say, try as much as possible to enlighten, to get people involved more in the conversation. It's not a bad conversation. We just need people to understand the point where it's coming from. Okay, for example, Simon Ekpa today, till now that I came on this place, there has never been a time that anytime I hear about him, it has always been about killings, and that is I will tell you, that is what most people think of him. So I think you guys need to do more of information to control the narrative. Don't allow the people to tell the story that is not your story. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
You have a work too to do. You that just finished speaking, you have a work to do. You
my
have
brother,
had a tell another.
My brother. If you can follow me, that Eminent, you can follow my Facebook page. I'm a Yoruba, like I said. I'm from Ekiti State. But from the moment where Nnamdi Kanu started the Biafra agitation, I wrote a lot of stuff in support of the agitation. I am also a student of history. I have read Chimamanda, Half of a Yellow Sun. I have read There Was a Country, Shina Ashibe. So I know what I'm saying. I am not biased in any way. What I want a situation whereby people are not led to the slaughter. I want a situation whereby the narrative is not changed. The narrative is not controlled in such a way that it seems like all you want is to kill innocent citizens. And that is the point where I'm coming from. Thank you.
Nobody's killing anybody. Yes, you are right. Nobody's killing anybody. We are even trying to save lives. Okay. Thank you very much. Koiki Media.
Thank you so much. We are just 28 minutes. We will end it at 1600 hours. Those of you that won't probably be able to join, be rest assured that we will do more of these when I'm live on my normal program. It's not disturbing it as much as we will always be live.
Your mic went mute. Koiki Media, are you still there?
It's still there. Okay. Before he comes back, someone is Paul, Mr. Paul.
Yeah, thank you.
Paul, take
Thank
it.
you for giving me the privilege. All protocol observed. There is stuff people don't know about. Technically, Nigeria is already at war. It's only a war situation where you see refugee camps, which everybody in Nigeria now, apart from the eastern region, doesn't have a refugee camp in their place. All over Nigeria, you have refugee camps. And there are two laws that are governing Nigeria, the Sharia law and the secular law. Technically, Nigeria has been divided, not with their Sharia law. And this guy was asking about our strategy to get Biafra. You will not be in your house. You will know what is going on in the market. Our people says that a man on a begi, means that you will not be in your house. You know what is going on in the market. If you want to know our strategy to get Biafra, join 1,000 men. Go to www.ipobinusa.org/donate. www.ipobinusa.org/donate. You choose wherever you want to contribute, either 1,000 men or you want to contribute a monthly recurrent fee. What is going on? We will defend our land, and these people are coming to kill us. We will not fold our hands, allow our people to be in IDP camps. That's one thing you guys don't understand. We told you guys, no election, don't vote, don't validate this fraud. Call Nigeria. You validated the fraud. You are not here lamenting. You don't want your lamentation. You can lament all you want, but we are heading home. We are getting Ojutwa and Biafra. That's what we call for. If you want to know the strategy, go there and put money so that when a meeting comes, you partake in the meeting, know what is going on in Biafra land. We can't just come over here and telling you our strategy to get Biafra. It doesn't work like that. So that's just what I want to chip in. I thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Paul. Koiki, is he still there?
I don't know. I'm trying to chat him up right now. We can continue. He will join us.
Okay. When you want to get this strategy, you should first of all listen to those that your oppressors are attacking. Ask questions. Why are they attacking this guy so much? Ask questions. Is there before